Hello and welcome, you crazy people. My name is Jay, and today we're going to be talking through some basic builds of Leia and the Fleet Troopers for Star Wars Legion. And we're just gonna sort of go through the options, see what I think is best for the to take as a basic kind of build, and I'll say what I think is good, what I think is bad, that kind of thing, and we'll just get straight onto it. So we're not actually going to do that much with Leia because there's not that many options, and I don't necessarily think they're all that great. So we'll have a look at Leia as a whole. She's got Take Cover that gives 2 friendly units at range 1 can get a dodge token. That combines nicely with Nimble, which she has, and so do the Rebel Troopers. Not the Fleet Troopers, the Rebel Troopers have it, and she can give that to herself. That is, I think that's fairly sure that's in the rule book. Inspired 2, so same thing that Vias has. She can take some suppression tokens off a friendly troop. The Take Cover is basically the dodge version of the Vias Spotter 1. Sharpshooter 2, I really like Sharpshooter 2, so it negates the defender's cover by 2, so pretty much negates cover really. I'm not sure when that wouldn't negate cover, but I think it would count towards the airspeeder, which is immune to blast, not immune to sharpshooter, so that makes sense actually. She's got 6 wounds, 2 courage. She rolls white defense dice, but she converts hits to crits, and she converts hits to crits, surges to crits, and surges to blocks. Martial arts, she got 3 black dice on in melee and 3 black dice at range 1 to 2 with PS1. I really like it. She's very offensive in comparison to Vias. I feel like she will do a lot more work than Vias because I'm fairly sure Vias has white dice. Sorry, the sun's like going up brighter and darker, and I'm using natural light, so that's why dusk is descending on me. But yeah, so I think she's more like a more aggressive version of Vias, and I do think I prefer her in that sense. I would then therefore be more likely to take Esteemed Leader, because Esteemed Leader is basically trying to keep your commander alive at the cost of your troopers, basically. And that is something I think I would want to do on Leia. On Vias, maybe not, maybe so. Commanding Presence, yeah, it's okay. You get an extra range, that's fine. You got to combine that with Comlink, or not combine it with Comlink, make your mind up is basically what I'm saying there. Grappling hooks and environmental gear, okay, nothing amazing. I sort of don't mind targeting scopes on her because she gets 3 attack dice and that PS1 and negating the cover. I feel like you could actually do a lot if you manage to get an aim. But I think Take Cover is probably better to combine with the Nimble, so I probably wouldn't take targeting scopes if I'm honest. I'd just probably take Esteemed Leader, maybe rock it as that, and be pretty happy. You can't go too far wrong. Almost everything here has some sort of use event, like if you want it. Grappling hooks that allow you to get into range quicker. Same with environmental gear. Targeting scopes is iffy because you might not. If you're rolling 3 black dice, you're probably going to roll a hit anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I doubt it is what I'm saying. Commanding Presence and Esteemed Leader, both sensible options. So that's Leia. We won't talk much more about Leia, except suffice to say, I think she's better than Vias in combat, and the main thing that Vias adds to an Imperial list is that it's cheaper. Leia is actually okay. She's not obviously as capable as Luke as a solo artist kind of thing, but she's like that support aggressive character, and I have to say I'm quite a fan. So that's Leia, and then I won't talk too much about her. We'll talk about the Fleet Troopers. So Fleet Troopers have got Ready 1, so after you perform a standby action you gain 1 aim token, which I think is pretty useful if you get it in the right place, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, you can take all of the grenades, the gear options that we just saw, an extra Fleet Trooper, and these 2 weapons. And this is the crux of the Fleet Trooper, is what do you want to take here? So the Scattergun, by the way, the Fleet Troopers have 2 white dice at range 1 to 2. Convert hits, surges to hits, which very interesting, I quite like. They got 1 wound as normal, and they do have the defensive surge, so it keeps them a bit more survivable because they only have the white dice. But the Scattergun is 2 red dice, but more importantly, you get PS1. Now that is very, very interesting. those of you who don't know, PS1, I know Leia had it before, but PS1 basically lets you cancel out a block result. So almost guarantees a wound, which is very good. And it's 2 red dice, which is also the best attack dice. So that's the Scattergun Trooper. The MPL 57 Barrage Trooper, a bit of a mouthful. 2 white dice, black dice, range 1 to 3. So the only range 3 that these guys get is an exhaustible card. So once you use it, you have to ready to get it back. But I'm fairly sure Leia has a thing. I'm sure one of her command pits lets you get a ready action. I'd have to double check, but I don't generally talk about the command pits in these because I'm not comparing commander to commander. I'm just comparing like the build to take with them. We'll probably have an extensive look at commanders at some point. Anyway, back onto the Barrage Trooper. Blast. Ignores cover. Fantastic. Impact 2. Pretty damn great, because I think the rebels sort of lack a bit of impact, very easily achieved, and this is that. Now it's not as good at you want to use that impact 2 at range 2 because you want to make sure you're getting like more dice than just the Barrage Trooper. So the fact that it's range 1 to 3, I think, yeah, it might let you take the odd pot shot, but I probably wouldn't if it was me. But what's better to take against infantry in certain situations? So what I did was I got there's a Legion calculator that I used, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the Scattergun and the Barrage Trooper against a Stormtrooper in heavy cover who's got red defense dice and a Rebel Trooper in heavy cover who's got white defense dice. So we'll look at the first one. So let's compare the 2 weapons. So here we've got basically the Scattergun versus Stormtroopers in heavy cover and the Barrage Gun against Stormtroopers in heavy cover, but we're using blast, so it doesn't have cover. Obviously, the Scattergun has the PS1, and now in my calculations, it's very, very close here, and this is not an exact science. You can sort of see the probabilities down there. It is a simulated thing rather than an exact calculation, but for me, there is a slight edge to the Scattergun against red dice. For the Stormtroopers. This one's very close. I give like an approx wounds, but I haven't done the maths or anything like that. So I'd say the Scattergun slightly edges it against red defense dice. This is a Star Wars Legion calculator, as I said. It literally just, you put in like your attack and what defense they have, and it's just a calculation that simulates it. It doesn't like give you the exact percentage, but I like it nonetheless. And then this one is against it's the Scattergun versus white defense dice, or as I call it, Rebel Scum. It's actually Rebel Troopers, not like I don't know, like not vehicles or anything like that. That'd be a different calculation. And I would give this as a slight advantage to the Barrage Trooper, because basically if you're against red defense dice, then the Pierce does more work, basically, because they're more likely to roll a block, and so you're more likely to cancel a block, I guess, is the theory. Whereas with the Barrage and against the white defense dice, the cover is doing a lot of the work in stopping your attacks. So if you negate the cover, then you're just relying on your hits. Obviously, the 2 red defense dice, the red attack dice, are actually slightly better, but negating cover in that sense actually does more. So basically, if you were just going against infantry, obviously we've got to factor in the vehicles and stuff like that. I personally think the Barrage is good against white defense dice like rebels, so it's a rebel on rebel fight, but not necessarily against Stormtroopers when they've got red defense dice. So we have to consider the rest of it though, because it's not obviously just those 2 options. The game has vehicles and stuff like that, so you've got to consider whether or not you want that that impact in your list or not. But this is a list that I could personally see me using if I was going to roll one of these units, which I absolutely might do. It really bugs me that the Fleet Trooper and the Scatter Trooper image is the same, and if you look, I think the guy in the back of the Fleet Trooper is the guy on the Scattergun. I just find that interesting. Anyway, so let's talk about this now. If you're going to rock with the Scattergun, then concussion grenades are a nice complement to that, because if you do you're going to have to get within range 2 anyway, but you might want to you might be very close to getting within range 1, so it might actually be worth taking blaster for you get to use your grenades. If you're getting up close and personal, concussion grenades makes sense. The targeting scopes has a very nice synergy with Ready 1. So after you perform a standby action, you gain 1 aim token. How many attack dice are you going to be using if you're a Fleet Troopers? Loads. They've got 2 each. So in most cases, so if you're at range 2, you stand by, you get your aim token, you get precise, you can probably use it because you've got crappy white dice. Nice little combination. So this is a good all-rounder. You get that little combo that I quite like, and that Pierce, as I tried to show, I think is very good against red defense dice. It's not so much great against Vader and stuff like that because they're often immune to Pierce, but still solid all-rounders. It is quite expensive. If you're going to go for like a full decked out unit like this, it does get quite expensive. You're looking at like a just under an 1/8 of your list, or like a 9th of your list basically. And but yeah, I mean, what would you take off? I would personally maybe take off the targeting scopes and the concussion grenades if I was trying to reduce points, but I'm only reducing the points there by 11, so take your pick. Now I can't spell because that's meant to say range 2, but that is a downside just for the whole of the Fleet Troopers, pretty much, apart from the barrage guy. You've got to get up close and personal, and that's going to put you at risk. So what you could probably do with doing is getting Leia to give you the dodge token just while you get in position, and then maybe Leia can use that on the actual rebel troopers normally, so they get use of nimble. But you know, it's okay. That's what that is. You could take out targeting scopes and concussion grenades and you'd still be pretty much okay. So let's have a look at about the barrage trooper. This is actually even more expensive, but I'm not but it's a easy way of getting impact, but it's so many points that I'm not sure it's the best way. It's 94 points, so that literally is approaching the 100 mark. We've still got the targeting scopes on because you're still rolling lots of dice, still has that nice combo with Ready 1. It's an all-rounder in itself in that it's good against vehicles if you're at range 2 because you get impact 2, and that blast makes it so you're pretty much decent against units in cover anyway. So in itself, it's good without the grenades, but of course it is 11 points more. The barrage trooper is more than the scattergun trooper, so now, but at range 2 you get in some decent impact hits on, say, like a vehicle. So yeah, you know, pros and cons, that's the whole gist of the thing in it. Downside, that exhausted on that card really puts me off it, if I'm honest. It's why I would possibly run the scattergun. The scattergun, it's not good against vehicles, but I would maybe look elsewhere to try and hinder the vehicles. I'm not necessarily sure what's the best way for the rebels off the top of my head, but the fact that that card becomes exhausted, which I've completely misspelled there. Exhausted. You know, Photoshop doesn't have any, or GIMP doesn't have any spell checker, so, well, maybe it does and I just don't know how to use it, but okay. I spelled range correctly on this one. Still range 2. The barrage talk is range 3, but I honestly wouldn't, because you're just only going to get 2 white and 1 black dice. It's not going to do too much, unless maybe you need 1 wound on a vehicle, maybe. But yeah, I'm leaning towards the scattered troops. Let me know your thoughts. Those are just they're just, I say the basic builds. There's not that many combinations in the world. You could take the gear one where you're grappling hooks, or you could take environmental gear so you don't get slowed down. There's no harm in that. I do like targeting scopes, particularly with the Fleet Troopers, just because of the sheer number of dice and that combination with Ready 1, but you don't have to do it. It's just the combo that I think I would probably try and utilize myself. And I think, as I said, I would go back to that build, possibly exactly like that, just to give me the options, depending on what my other units had and stuff like that. I'd be more likely to give these guys the grenades than, say, the Rebel Troopers, because these guys are getting in range 1 or 2, range 2 anyway. It's not that much of a leap to go on a suicide mission and throw some grenades maybe at someone. So this would be my favorite build. And just quickly going back to Leia, if I was running Leia personally, I'd just take a Steam Leader and maybe Commanding Presence, depending on the rest of my list. That's me. Let me know what about you guys. This is, I think, the second video in this house. Now, the quality of the video itself might be a little bit less good. I might be rocking at 720, just because I'm going to upload this using my mobile data, and I have limits and stuff like that, because that's the way the world works. But hopefully we're getting back in the swing of things. I am going to the UK Game Expo, which is this weekend, so might be a little bit short on the videos, but hopefully we're back up and running. We're in the house, everything's sorted. And I hope that if you like this video, do like. If you've not subscribed already, you are, then please do so. And as ever, guys, have a most beautiful, very exquisite, most beautiful, fantastic day of all times. No, wait, sorry, I sound like Next Level Painting on the greatest day of all time. Anyway, have a beautiful day. Goodbye.